Hey Hind, welcome to BioAffairs. Today I'll be talking about the oxygen requirement of microbes. Mainly I'll be talking about bacteria, but I'll give you some hints about protists and fungi also. So let's start with the topic. So I'll make it very simple for you. If you have any query, you can ask me in the comment section or you can join my Telegram channel. Now, let's start. So depending upon the oxygen requirement, microbes can be divided into 5 arenas, okay, or 5 zones you can say, depending upon the oxygen concentration, what type of concentration they need, what type of oxygen levels they need. So first, obligate aerobes, microaerophilic, then facultative anaerobe, then aerotolerant anaerobe, and then strict anaerobe. Okay, so in this case, one by one I'll go and make your concept very clear. Okay, so I have taken here the nutrient broth solutions in the tube. Okay, these are glass tubes, and within that nutrient broth is there and bacteria is present. Okay, now the name obligate aerobe, as you know, obligate means mandatory. So they are mandatorily aerobic. So they need oxygen. What oxygen? The normal oxygen concentration, that is 20% available in the air. That normal concentration of the oxygen is a requirement for their growth. Without that, their growth will be first inhibited, then they may end up or cease their growth. So if you divide this zone as aerobic, so if you aerobic zone, or you can just increase this, okay, and the other part is anaerobic zone. So these are the zones I have divided in the tube with the help of oxygen concentrations. So highest concentration will be where? That is, this is air, okay, and this is the level of broth, nutrient broth or any kind of broth you say. So I have written here broth surface. So the highest level of air will be present in this zone. So the aerobic bacteria, the obligate aerobic bacteria will definitely try to come up to the surface of the broth surface and will grow there. Okay, so this simple pictures is to tell you that what are the oxygen requirements. So I think you are clear with the obligate aerobe. Now coming to microaerophilic. Okay, so the microaerophilic bacteria, they need less concentration of oxygen compared to the aerobic bacteria. Their growth cannot happen in normal condition, that is 20% oxygen concentration is not required, or they are not habituated with that requirement. So they need a very less concentration of oxygen and they are called microaerophilic. So you have seen here, I have written this, I have drawn this bacteria, several bacteria growing below the aerobic level or highest oxygen level. This is the highest oxygen level area, and these bacteria are growing under this level. So what are the oxygen concentration they need actually? So they need actually 2 to 10% of oxygen, 2 to 10% O2, and here it was 20%. So below the water level there will be reduced amount, but it will be definitely more than 10 or 15%. So the microaerophilic bacteria will use this kind of concentration of oxygen. Sorry. Now coming to facultative anaerobe. So as the name suggests, facultative means they are not obligate. So here try to remember one shortcut I have learned from one of my teachers during my college days. Whenever you are using the term facultative, below that, whatever it is, aerobe or anaerobe. Remember, whatever the second word is the second choice for the microbe. Confused? Okay, let me explain you again. So here facultative anaerobe means the bacteria I have given here, I have drawn here, is they love to grow in aerobic condition. You can see the concentration. They love to grow in the aerobic condition, but they can also grow in the less oxygen concentration. So they require more oxygen for their growth, for better growth, for optimum growth, but they can also survive in the less concentration of oxygen. That is facultative anaerobe. So anaerobe here is the second choice. You can see here they are available in anaerobic zones also, but the concentration is lower compared to the aerobic zone. That is why, remember, the second word is the second choice of any microbe. So facultative anaerobe means anaerobic condition is the second choice. They love to be in aerobic environment. Okay, I hope this one is also clear. Now coming to aerotolerant anaerobe. So here the term tolerant is very important. Tolerant means they can tolerate any kind of oxygen concentration, wide range of oxygen concentration, whether it is 20% or 2% or anaerobic condition. So they can grow or they can maintain their viability in wide range of oxygen concentration. That's why they are aerotolerant anaerobe. But they have also a optimum condition. Below or above that oxygen level, they cannot prosper. Means they can grow, they can maintain, but it will be very slow or inhibitory growth levels. Okay, so this aerotolerant anaerobe is there. Now strict anaerobe, or you can also use the term obligate anaerobe. Same thing, obligate aerobe and obligate anaerobe. Strict anaerobes are, they will definitely grow in the anaerobic conditions. So in the aerobic condition, whether it is 2% oxygen or 20% oxygen, this microbe will be dead. They cannot sustain their life cycle or life in the presence of oxygen. So they are strictly anaerobic without oxygen levels, any kind of oxygen. And remember that the oxygen levels, whichever the bacteria are using oxygen, they use this oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor in electron transport chain. What is this? This is the chain present in the bacterial membrane which helps to generate ATP. Now, the generation of ATP through aerobic respiration requires the oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor. Okay, not but except the anaerobe, because anaerobe bacteria, they do not require oxygen. So instead of oxygen, they use some hydrogen sulfide or hydrogen as their electron acceptor. Or there are also other components are there. So except this strict anaerobe, all other bacteria that require oxygen, whatever the levels they need or they maintain oxygen as an electron terminal electron acceptor in electron transport chain to generate ATP so that they can grow and prosper in the media. Now why I said that? To make you understand about these enzymes. So here I have written 3 enzymes. These enzymes are required to maintain or to destroy the toxic oxygen levels. Now this SOD is nothing but the superoxide dismutase. Superoxide dismutase. So all these enzymes have a single function: to destroy radical oxygen. What are radical oxygen? Radical oxygens are those oxygens during aerobic respiration. Some of the oxygens are, their electron levels are in higher energy state, which destroys the bacteria or microbes, protein, nucleic acid or membrane. Or they can form or they can combine with any other compound and make their life end there. Or they can destroy the cellular components. So to maintain the cell or the bacteria properly, they have some enzymes which helps them in destroying these radical oxygens and make them a simple compound which will be used in the body itself. So it is a kind of recycling of oxygen through the deadly oxygen or the toxic oxygen to helpful oxygen. Okay, now all these enzymes have functions. Now coming to which enzyme is doing what. So here in the first step, this red dot is nothing but to denote it is a radical oxygen or reactive oxygen species. In several books you will study this reactive oxygen species or ROS molecules. Simply remember ROS. Okay, now the SOD, what they do, radical oxygen is being protonated and converted to oxygen H2O2. But H2O2 is also a kind of what? It is a harmful agent for the bacteria. So later through catalase convert this H2O2 into H2O and oxygen. Okay, so water and oxygen. Now the radical oxygen or the reactive oxygen species now become a normal state oxygen, which again can be used within the cell. Now this H2O2 can also be converted through NADH levels and make a helpful water and NAD+ that can be again used in the electron transport chain or any other different pathways are there within the bacteria, they can be used. So this step is performed by peroxidase because this enzyme works on the peroxide, hydrogen peroxide. So from there the name comes peroxidase, and all these compounds are recyclable. But this compound, this is the deadly compound or the toxic oxygen level, which needs to be converted to less harmful or not at all harmful oxygen and water levels. So these three enzymes are not present in every bacteria. So there are examples. I can give you several examples, but no need. You can find it easily in the book. So first, aerobic bacteria, they contain all these. Now coming to microaerophile, they definitely contain this SOD, and catalase may present for some species or genus, some may not, as well as peroxidase. Now in case of facultative aerobe, as I said, they like to grow in aerobic conditions, so SOD and catalase is a must. Peroxidase is also must, but some species they can differ. So everywhere there is an exception, right? So for every section you can see exception, but exceptions cannot be example. So likewise this one, and as it is an anaerobe, there are no SOD, no catalase, peroxidase may or may not be present. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the oxygen requirement of bacteria. Now some fungi, protists and other organisms, they do also contain this kind of enzymes and they show this kind of growth also. Okay, so all this kind of growth can also be shown by different protists and fungi. So as a whole you can say microbe can behave differently in different oxygen concentration. So I hope you are clear with the subject. So if really my class helped you in clearing your concept, please like and subscribe. You can check my channel over there for several topics are there. I will be uploading more. So this kind of detailed video takes more time and detailed knowledge. So if you want to help me, do like and subscribe and share with your friends. So thank you very much.